Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about having a Sagittarius sun and Taurus moon in a natal chart. Now, I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. Excuse me. What I'm talking about is people that have that sun moon combination in their natal chart, a Sagittarius sun and Taurus moon. Now, first off, the basic character, which is the sun, and the sun being in Sagittarius can be very expansive, optimistic, exuberant, upbeat, jovial, blunt, but even self-righteous and reckless. Now, on the unconscious side, which is the moon represents the unconscious side of the person in astrology, and the sun reflects the conscious side of the person. Now, with the moon being in Taurus on a more unconscious level, the person may be placid, calm, persevering, persistent, trustworthy, and even stubborn, maybe more than a little bit stubborn. Now, this person may bring that Sagittarius optimism into something Taurus related, which can include gardening, carpet laying, working as a pawnbroker, doing something with stocks, architecture, agriculture, geology, as some examples. Um, Bill Nye, the science guy, he has a Sagittarius sun and likely a Taurus moon, depending on birth time. I think maybe attributed to why he stubbornly holds on to certain beliefs and philosophies, including, his disdain for the belief in astrology, the fact that he, basically debunks, that belief. Anyway, what I want to add is next thing. The sun astrology is about our basic wants, and the Sagittarius sun wants to explore, expand horizons, be that perpetual learner, and the moon represents our emotional needs, and the Taurus moon needs creature comforts, possessions, peace, quiet, tranquility, and stability. Now, when you look at the sun in astrology is connected with the true self. And with the sun being in Sagittarius, the true self can be very, enthusiastic, exuberant, jocular, and philosophical. And the moon is that inner self, the inner personality. And with the moon being in Taurus, the inner personality can be very, stable, peaceful, may actually have an aversion to expand horizons. So you have an interesting combination and disparity here. There can be some conflict because the thing is, the Sagittarius sun, wants to expand horizons and go outside the box, and Taurus moon on a more unconscious level might be more reluctant to do so and like to just keep things status quo. Um, the thing too is, this is sun in astrology is associated with our driving motivation. So this person may be driven and motivated, which is the sun, to expand horizons, which is Sagittarius. Now, the person may do so with the Taurus moon in a more methodical and deliberate manner. It could be in some money-making endeavor, um, feeling like making money. The moon is about how we feel, what we feel like doing, what we could be in the mood for. Um, Now, an adjustment may be needed. Say this makes an inconjunct aspect with each other. An inconjunct aspect, astrology is 150 degrees. I use a 3-degree orb. Um, Sagittarius, for example, let's say if the Sagittarius sun is at 7 degrees and the Taurus moon is at 5 degrees, that would form an inconjunct aspect. And inconjuncts in astrology can reflect too much or too little of something. It can be having the Sagittarius sun and Taurus moon combination. It might be too much expanding horizons, which is that sun and Sagittarius, or it's too much, the Taurus moon. It might be too much reluctance or too much of not wanting, not having a need. to go outside the box and staying in that comfort zone, so to speak. Another thing too is that the sun in astrology represents the biological father. And with the sun in Sagittarius, the biological father may actually be a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody those characteristics. The moon in astrology represents the mother. So with a Taurus moon, the mother may actually be a Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody those traits. Now, it's also about the perception of these people. And, with the Sagittarius sun, the person may perceive the biological father as somebody that's optimistic, upbeat, expansive, exuberant, and jovial, but at the same time may perceive the biological father as somebody that might be overly self-righteous, foolhardy, reckless, blunt, tactless, and flighty. Now, with the Taurus moon, the person may perceive their mother as somebody that's very persistent, persevering, patient, stable, steady, and calm, but at the same time may perceive the mother as somebody that might be overly stubborn, obstinate, set in her ways. May see the mother as someone that has a strong, aversion to making any, kind of change. Being over might be even perceived the mother as greedy or avaricious in some cases. Now, again, this is an interesting combination because you have a strong, disparity between Sagittarius sun and Taurus moon. As I stated before, with the case of Bill Nye, who likely has a Taurus moon, depending on time, birth, he's somebody that strikes me as it's very adamant, regarding his philosophies and his belief systems, and very unwavering and intransigent with that. And somebody that has this combination may stubbornly, feel like stubbornly holding on to their philosophies and beliefs. And even if the person is religious, their particular religious beliefs, if the person is involved in some religious congregation, he or she may be very loyal and steadfast to that church congregation. So that's a positive side in this. But the thing about this is to having this combination, Sagittarius sun, again, could be very, the sun is our basic fundamental character. So having a Sagittarius sun, the basic personality is just, again, can be very exuberant and joyful, jovial, optimistic, and the actions can be done with a lot, and the sun is about our actions as well, and the actions can be done with a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm, and about expanding horizons, expressing benevolence. The Taurus moon, might sometimes not even be responsive or be very, deliberate and take his or her time in responding to something, or the responses can be very, you could say very calm, composed. The person is responding to an emergency situation on the positive end. I mean, this could be, somebody that could be very calm and composed, nearly inflappable in responding to something like if it was a crisis or emergency situation. But as far as the emotions go, with the Taurus moon, they can be very stable. But the thing too is we know about the Taurus legendary temper, and not being easily provoked, but can be downright infuriated if they're pushed beyond the point of endurance. And on the emotional level, the person may only take so much before unleashing a mighty roar at some point. And the person, in this case, you have the Sagittarius sun, where the being a fire sign for the sun, the person basic character can be fiery. So this is it's a combination that is I'd say rather interesting, to say the absolute least. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.